Hey guys, welcome back to our real love scenario. That was good right there. Shout out to all our real lovers out there. We love you guys so much. We hope that you enjoyed your weekend and that you are enjoying your life right now and that you're ready to just be entertained, engaged, and informed.
Yes, this is education.
There we go.
Yes.
Love that.
This is education or whatever it's called. Edutainment.
Education.
And a little entertainment, all rolled into one.
All into one. And we appreciate you guys because without you guys, like we always say, we'll be talking to ourselves. And although we love each other as friends, we don't need to do this with the lights and cameras if we just talk to ourselves. So we appreciate you guys joining our conversation every week to our real lovers. And if you're a new real lover, welcome to the gang.
Hi.
Hey, write in. Tell us what's going on.
Yes, I'm Rhonda. That's Dre, in case you didn't know. Yes.
Love it. So first, speaking of our real lovers, we're going to read another one of our reviews. This is from...
It's my favorite part of the show.
CR Lover.
Oh, yes. This is a real lover.
Hey, look at that name. CR Lover.
The R is for real.
Certified real lover.
Ooh.
Shucks.
That might be why I like it.
CR Lover.
Okay, I can't wait to hear it. Let's go.
The subject of the message just says love. LOVEEE. I love listening to the sound, advice, and godly perspective from this podcast. I especially enjoy the fact that they take their time to unpack each situation and consider the dynamics. Short, simple, easy, to the point. That's all.
Love it. Love it.
Certified lovers just know, you know what to write.
Exactly. That's so good. Thank you so much, Certified Real Lover, because that's what we taking CR Lover to mean, just so you know, even if that's not really what it means, that's what we're calling you. Thank you. That was so nice. We do take our time to unpack it because if you're going to give people advice, you got to get into the meat and bones of the story. Every little thing needs a little something on it.
Yes.
You can't just advise at the end, you know? So,
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Glad you noticed that. Thank you. You make sure you write your review though, okay? If you listen to this, you watching this, and you're like, dang, I really love this show, and I have never written a review. All you have to do is head over and write, I love this show.
Yeah.
That's it.
I think about it, right? We get around over 20,000 listens a month to this podcast, which is awesome.
Love that.
And there are 200 reviews.
Yes.
So that's what? 10% is...
Oh, no.
10% is 2,000. That's 1%.
Yes. That's incredible.
Let's shoot for 300 reviews, guys.
Let's knock the numbers up.
Let's get it up.
You can do it. I believe in it. I really do. And it means so much. Like, seriously, we're not just asking you because we need our heads inflated. We think we're pretty cool without the validation. But it just means a lot to the show, and it goes a long way. And the more you talk about it and the more you share, the more it grows our audience. And if you enjoy this advice, don't you think other people would? I think you would think that. So, yes, let's just do that. Let's do that.
Please do. And make sure you check out the other two shows too, the For the Girls and Worth the Wait. But
absolutely,
let's jump into our real life love scenario.
Let's do it.
Do you want to talk about it or?
Sure. I'm happy to kick it off. Because one, I do need to give a couple of shout outs.
Yes, you do.
I was on the 8 at the Table podcast. Shout out to the crew over there, Alan, who is the creator of the show, and all of the co-hosts. I got to record with Rico, Jada, Aaron, and Amanda. It was so good meeting all of you. They were very hospitable. I had a great time. And I also, and that episode is out. So if you're, if you want to catch it, it's on YouTube. Just search 8 at the Table.
And Rhonda represented for the real lovers out there.
I did.
So, I'm gonna be up there soon. I just gotta figure out the time.
Yes, absolutely. And then I have another. I was a guest on another podcast, but I'll wait till the episode comes out.
Okay.
But yeah, it's very exciting. But I say all that to say, Rico, who is a host of 8 at the Table, is also a guest often on tonight's conversation. And he has a clip where he talks about meeting a woman who, or if he meets a woman and she says, and this is hypothetical, but if she says she's not going to have sex for 90 days, then he feels like he gets to say, well, then I'm not going to spend any money for the next 90 days. I'm not taking you on a date. I'm not spending any money on you. Yeah, because what is the point? If I am spending money and taking you out and then not getting sex, and I quote, he says, that is not fair to the man. And I just really despise this concept that the currency for sex is money and vice versa. So I just want to talk about that a little bit and get your thoughts on it.
It don't make sense. I mean, I think that
Look
if
me square
somebody,
in my eyes.
if a woman is saying or has a general rule that 90 days or 3 months is, which I don't think this is a ton of women anyways, like, but if they have this thing in place that's 90 days or 3 months until they have sex with the person that they're dating, obviously they're in the process of dating to where they're looking for something more intentional.
Yeah.
And something that has a deeper level than just something physical and just sex. So if you are in a position where you feel like it's unfair that you have to wait 90 days, but you still have to date in court, you're the person that she's trying to weed out because you're obviously here just for sex, because she feels like there's more value to a relationship than just sex. And she also wants to meet someone who has that equal value. If you can't, or those equal values, if you can't wait 90 days to have sex with me while courting me, then you don't see the same thing I see or value sex or physical intimacy or other things outside of sex the same way that I value them. Therefore, we probably won't be aligned in a relationship in the future anyways.
Absolutely.
So it's a thing to where I guess if you are out here just
trying to have
random
sex.
flings and stuff like that with people, I guess it is transactional, and there are some women who will engage in that transaction for the experiences, for the trips, for the dinners, for the whatever. But if you run across a woman who has a rule that's like, I'm not engaging in sexual activity for a certain amount of time, she's not interested in the exchange.
Anyway.
And if you're not interested in it, that's fine.
Right, exactly. I think it's just so and I just think it's kind of gross in dating. And let me give the disclaimer that I have no issues with sex workers, people who decide to do sexual things for pay. That's a choice. That's a profession of sorts. And I'm not talking technically about prostitution. That's illegal in some places. I'm talking about other forms of sex work. OnlyFans, if you are on there doing sexual things for pay, that's sex work.
Yeah.
If you are selling access to your close friends because you're doing sexual things in there, that's sex work, you know? So I don't have an issue with people who decide that this is a profession. Stripping sometimes is considered sex work, right? I don't care about that. Where it gets gross for me is in the dating space, where even women sometimes will say like, well, if I'm having sex with you, I expect you to pay for things. I expect you to give me money. And here's the thing. I would rather you, if you're going to demand money, I would rather you associate it to something that is not as intimate as your body. You know, if you're saying I really might want you to contribute to helping me pay bills because you spend a lot of time here, I would like for you to help me pay something because I'm struggling right now. You know, I'm in school and I'm putting myself through school, or I would appreciate if you would pick up the next few dates because I had to pay for daycare this week, or just something that like makes sense for why you would need or want money. But I feel like money is a resource. It's necessary to live. You have to have it in order to do things. Dating is one of those things, but you don't need a lot of money to date. It's all dependent upon who you're dating and how they might like to date. I've been on plenty of free dates or $20 dates. I've also been on $200, $300, $400, $500 dates. I've been on dates that were vacations for a couple of days. One of my first dates with my ex was a trip to Florida for 3 days, and he spent a lot of money. We were not having sex at that time. We hadn't had sex yet. The point of him doing that was because, one, he wanted to have that experience too. So if we went to dinner, it's because he wanted to eat as well.
Yeah.
Right. Like a part of you
not
going
doing
to
it
eat
by itself.
Right. He would be eating anyway, whether I was here or not. He's treating me because he's courting me. And in exchange for paying for food is whatever we talk about over that time. It is getting a sense of like how I feel about him, how I interact with him. The idea that he spent a couple $100s on dinner is somehow meaning that at the end of the night, I'm supposed to pay up with coochie is weird. I hate it. I hate when men project that or lead with that. And I also hate when women sell it up like that too. Like, well, if I'm giving you sex, you need to be giving me money. That is just not cool. You know, everybody gets to do whatever they want and function in this life how they see fit. But it's just a dangerous game to play. And I feel like the people who like those two things or think that that's cool, most of the time, to me, it says that that's all you got. Either all you have is sex or all you have is money. If you really know how to have sex very well, you will know that the exchange for sex is sex. Because both of us should be getting something really great out of this if we're doing it. I should not feel like when we're finished having sex that you need to pay me, right? Because, well, the sex wasn't enough. I'm gonna need a little cash on top of that. That means that the sex was probably whack. Or if all you have is money, and you only want sex for that, then you're probably empty. You probably have no character. You probably, like you said, you don't want much from me if that's all you care about. I would think that even men who are of a certain value level or a certain character would also value their bodies and not give it up just for anybody or give it up for the girl that was willing to give you her body for a steak dinner. I would think that you feel more worthy as a man as well, that like, this is too good to just be giving it away. So I think it's a weird thing, and I hope that in time it just goes away. I just think it's crappy. It's not. I know.
It's all an intention thing. Like it's to measure your intentions. That's what that 90-day whole thing is to measure your intentions. And if you're all so caught up on sex, then it shows that your intention is just to have sex with me. That's why you're doing all the things. That's why you're texting good morning and doing all that stuff is to do that.
Right.
If you had bigger intentions or much greater intentions, then 3 months is so quick. Like, you know what I'm saying? Especially if you don't live with the person and you're just still getting to know each other. Like, that thing will fly by.
Absolutely. And honestly, by that point, if you do have physical chemistry, sex gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
It's gonna be so good by that time. Like, doing it the first night, not saying there's anything wrong with that, but doing it in the first week where I haven't even gotten to really understand your mind, the sex probably won't even be that great.
Yeah.
But in 90 days, we should have talked about
build a little bit. Like,
let me not. Because one of my friends told me that I was going crazy on one of these episodes. So I'm gonna dial it down.
Yeah, I saw the comment. Somebody said Captain Rhonda. Who like yachts.
Just saying. Anyway, moving on. Shall we get into our real love scenario?
Yes, let's do it. All
right, let's go. Let's see. Does this person want to be anonymous? Because I have to always make sure, because I get scared. Yes, this person also would like to be anonymous. They say, "Hey guys, firstly, I'd love to say love your podcast. It's helped me a lot."
Thank you.
Yes. My scenario, I'm in a circle of friends and I started to like one of my friends. In our circle, we all blend, but some blend better than others. So my girlfriend's boyfriend and I click, and my boyfriend and her the same. Now, brief history, I usually don't go through any guy's phone, whether we're together or just friends. I respect privacy. But one day I was curious, so I went through his chat with a girl he used to like when he and I started dating, and the chat between my girl and him. Now get this, I expected to find stuff in the chat between the girl he used to like and him, but I found shocking stuff in the chat with my girl and him. I suspected he had a thing for her, but would deny it all the time. What turned my stomach the most was after he had overly complimented her, which I never get, by the way. Disappearing mode was turned on in their chat. I was like, wow, what the heck did I go snooping for? I didn't say anything, just gave him cold shoulders, and then when I was ready, confronted him about my girl's chat and the chat between him and the girl he liked, who he said he doesn't talk to anymore. He denied it at first. I broke up with him, and that's when he broke and told me the entire truth. After apologizing and all, I was really not budging. I have a soft heart, and I pass out when I get too overwhelmed. After a month or so, he and I started getting to talking again. He said he wouldn't do it again. I didn't believe him. The trust isn't the same either. Well, that's the history. My question is it wrong for your girlfriends to know your man and to even be close to them? Thank you for writing in,
Thank you.
Miss Anonymous. So for anyone who might have been confused out there, because I'm of the age where I call my friends, like my female friends, girlfriends.
Yeah.
But it's also a term used for people that you're in a relationship with.
Yes.
She is saying her girlfriend, as in her homegirl,
Yeah.
and her man have been flirting. Okay, just wanted to clear that up.
I wish I knew like what actually she found in this discovery and digging phase to better help, answer this. So first, let's start in the beginning.
Yeah.
So obviously towards the end, you talk about that he admitted that he did something wrong. But I think that there might have still been a bit of a guilty conscience there. Don't you know when they say people like they accuse you of cheating when they're doing something? Because she says that she is in a circle of friends and she started to like, she said I started to like one of my friends in the circle. So she basically said that her homegirl's boyfriend and her clique.
Yes. But I think she was saying that the person she's with right now was just one of her friends at some point. At least that's what I took from it.
Okay, but then she said her girlfriend's boyfriend, that her and that guy clicked.
Yes.
And then
they click with each other's men.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying is like you kind of know, and not saying that she did anything wrong, but she could have just noticed it. But you kind of like, I may know some of the things that's running through my head and mind, but I see them over there all happy and let me investigate the situation.
Look a little deeper.
So I'm just saying that I think that prompted the investigation. It's kind of like,
yes.
Let me just see.
Let me just see. I know what I'm capable of. Yeah. I know what I'm thinking, or I know what I'm doing. Let me see if they thinking on the same tip. And saying that you click with someone, it may not mean like in that way. Like you and I click, but not in that way. We get along. Like you're cool. Because sometimes you don't necessarily click with your friend's person.
Yeah, very true.
You don't. So it could mean that they're clicking, but it could also mean like we both were really cool with our with each other's boyfriends. Yeah. So you make a great point though. That's usually when people get a heightened sense of what's going on, it's usually because they are probably doing something. Yeah. So it's great observation.
Thank you. So where you want to actually dig into this? I mean, this is again, subjects like this are tough for me.
Yeah.
Because the way that Bree and I operate is slightly different. It's like it's a very complete trust type of situation.
Yeah.
With the baseline being what's appropriate in the moment for the position that you're in. So it's like you're married to me, I'm married to you.
Yeah.
What's appropriate in this situation. So you shouldn't be doing things that are not appropriate, but it's never like a thing of like trust. Like I don't trust you with this. I don't trust you with that.
Right.
I am cool with all my wife's friends. I call them like my sisters. And that's basically because I think that's the family you chose to a certain extent. And they all love me. And I've hung out with them individually before. Bree, like I remember one time Bree was out of town and her friend Callie had an art show. I went to the art show without Bree to support her.
Yeah.
I've had happy hours with one of her friends to help her with a relationship thing that she was going through. And it's just like, in some of her friends, I do click on certain levels with than Bree, because Bree and I aren't the same. We don't enjoy some of the same things.
Right.
Some girls, I explain to people, are guys' girls. Like they just get along with guys a lot better than they get along with girls.
Yeah.
Either sometimes they're a little bit like emotionless, or like they're a little bit more blunt, or they're just not as girly and don't care about certain things. So they get along with guys a lot better than girls.
Yeah.
And my wife is more of like a girly girl, and some of her friends are like guys' girls. So it's like, oh, that's the homie. Like some of her friends, I'm like, oh, she like a dude to a certain extent, like how she acts and conversation and stuff like that. I love when her friends come over and we just talking, chilling. So it's like, I don't have an issue with it. I know Bree doesn't have an issue with it.
Right.
So yeah,
I feel like where we should start with all that being said is breaking down the dynamics of the when your person or your partner is friends with your friends, and like what the parameters really are to make that safe and comfortable, because I do think it is so ideal for your and your friends to get along. Like I think that's what you want. Like that's great. It's like my friends like my boyfriend and like he likes them, and so it's nothing weird if I want to invite them over. It's all love. He's like, how you been, how you doing? He asked about them. Like I was dating a guy and I would love it when he would ask me, how's Maya doing? I would just be like, I love him. Like, it's so sweet that you think of people that are close and important to me. And so I think that that's cool. That's great. That's what you want. But then there's like territory, right? That can easily start to look weird, can easily make this really complicated. And I think we just need to break that down.
Okay.
Like, I would say one of the first things that I would caution against doing, right, is your person and your friend forming such a relationship or having what I would call insiders, things that they
excluding you from.
Yeah, that they intentionally exclude you from constantly. Like sometimes they might be excluding you from something because they're trying to surprise you. Like, okay, I want to propose to Bree. I got to go and get one of her girlfriends. We hiding this from you because of something we're doing for you.
Yeah.
But when it is like this constant, we're around each other and y'all have inside jokes, or I don't know that you all hung out 2 days ago. Like you just did that. And then you talk about it and I'm like,
when?
What? Like I'm confusion. When you start to keep me out of the loop, that's when it could look messy. That's when it could look like, what's going on here? So I would say that's one of the first things. Another thing I would say is being sensitive to body language interactions. Like, yes, of course, I would expect you to like embrace my friends. If you're a person who hugs people when you see them, like my friends come over, you might hug them, right? Like, cool, makes sense. Keep the hug churchy, PG-ish. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want you to like my friend to come in and you hugging my friend like, how you been? So good to see you. Yeah, you all right? Good. You look good. You
Damn,
look
girl.
Look back. Step back. God, you been working out? Like, no. Like, keep it cute. You know what I mean? Like, let's not make the body language that you all have with each other a little too comfortable. I've seen friends sometimes like sit on their husband's or boyfriend's lap, like under no circumstances is that okay. Like not for me. Like y'all can be cool all day.
That's the inappropriate line that I was talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you have to know when to reel it in. That would, of course, is a jarring sight for me to see my homegirl walk over and sit on my man's lap because y'all cool or you having a joke. That's not funny to me, you know? So I think it's just knowing when not to cross over. Like it's some fine lines here where it goes from, are you cool with my man or do you like my man? And you're just being cool with him with hopes that he will fall for the temptation or it's weakening, and then it's like, oh snap, this is when people say, oops, it just happened, like we fell into this. So I think like just being really conscious of like how you interact with my friends, that's the best way for me to feel really comfortable with it, because of course, like I said, that's what I want you to like them.
Yeah, I think it's about keeping the lines of communication open. Like it shouldn't be secrets.
No.
When it comes to, because those are her friends.
Right.
Not, I mean, at the end of the day, it's not even like for my wife, I was cool with Mel and Mimi, who are friends of ours before Bree even knew them.
Right.
But after Bree and I got together and I introduced them, Mimi and Bree are super close now. I see Mimi when Bree interacts with Mimi, or I see Mel when Bree interacts with Mel. Like that's just the natural progression of the friendship. And it's like, there's not a time, even with them being friends of mine's first, there's still never a time where I would hang out with one of them and Bree would not know about it. Bree
Right.
would not have been invited to it or anything like that, unless, like you said, we were planning something specifically for her that we're trying to hide from her in order to surprise her for something.
Yes.
So the lines of communication always have to be open, and there always should be an invitation. Like I said, my situation though is, it's different. It's like I said, it's that appropriate line. Like I don't like Bree and I, like one of Bree's friends does like massages and stuff sometimes. Like if people are over there, she'll like Bree likes a massage that she does, and she'll like crack her back or something like that. And Bree will be like, "Oh, Jerry, you gotta have her do it to you. Like it's so good. Like it'll make you feel better and stuff like that." That might be an issue for some people. Bree don't care.
Yeah. But see, the key in that is that it was at Bree's suggestion.
Yes.
It was at your wife's suggestion that her friend touched you.
Yeah.
Your friend just helping herself to doing that, or you inviting her to do that. It's all about, in this situation, it's your partner has to green light what feels good to them and what does not feel good to them.
And then even me still, I'm like,
that's okay.
You sure?
Why don't you tell her to show you how to do it, and then you crack my back.
Right,
okay?
Like, I don't know. Okay.
Right.
You say so.
Right.
But then on the flip side, it's like Bree went on a girls trip to Houston, and my best friend just moved to Houston, and he has like a big house out there, and it was just him, two of his homeboys, and all the girls. It's like, that's my best friend. Like, I don't care. Like, y'all go have fun.
Right.
That's family. Like, that's my boy. If I can't trust my homeboy, like, and think that he's in good hands, especially like if I'm not there, if they went on a girl trip to Houston and he wasn't there, you know what I'm saying? But if he's there, I feel like if I'm not there, like there's somebody who's looking out for me and got my back, not in the sense of like, oh, I don't want them to be together, what might happen. So it's like we just have that type of trust when it comes to things, and never really had to deal with that. And I think it's just a respect thing too. It's like the respect thing that you have for being in a situation that you have for your person to not do something like that. But I feel like it should be like a double thing. It's like, if it's your friend and your man, both of them two having respect for you. If two of them people don't come together, even if one person wanted to do one with other person, like somebody should cancel each other out.
Correct.
At some point, like your man and a random girl, maybe, your friend and a random dude, that's something else. But like two of your peoples, if they don't cancel each other out, then that's a bigger
Somebody's
problem.
got to go.
Yeah. Like,
somebody's got to go.
If they both indulge, and it's like, I just could never see myself doing that.
I thought about when you just talked about your friend in Houston, it reminded me of a lyric that JayZ said, one of his childhood friends and close business partners is Tata. And he talks about, if he left his house, essentially, I don't know if he meant by death or whatever, like, tell Tata to take care of my kids. This is a man that I love and I trust, that is my dear friend, probably really like my brother. And not even like go take care of my kids as in be with my wife and take care of my kids, as in you are the next best thing to me being there. Like, I believe that my wife would be in best hands in your space. Now, has that fallen apart before? Of course. Like, there are people you trust that betray your trust. You had your wife go be at your friend's house and then they were sleeping together. Of course, that could happen. But I don't think it's crazy to just automatically assume, oh, my best friend is a man, my wife is a woman. It's no way I could trust this situation because they're just too stupid or too dense to not sleep with each other. In fact, I want to put my wife in a space where she's comfortable. She knows him. Like you said, that's family to us. And if anything were to happen to her, I have a point of contact to that's close to her, that's there, that's going to tell her, okay, only party here, or y'all go, I'll pick you up, or I'll make sure y'all are good. That's ideally what you want. This only becomes problematic when people don't respect the boundaries. Like, if your friend, when you all hang out together, if he was constantly complimenting your wife's body, or he was constantly saying weird things or inappropriate things to her, or like flirting with her right in your face, or just doing weird stuff, like, or you found messages, not necessarily looking, like she went searching, but you just using her phone one day, and then you see that they've been interacting in a way that's like, this is a little too close for comfort, and or it's behind my back, right? Like, I don't know that you and him are talking like this. That's when the red flags go up, and that's when people say, "Oh, that's it. That's a dub." Like, I don't want my friends to be friends with my person, or I don't even want my person to have friends that are opposite sex,
Yeah.
because you think automatically that people don't have any control over themselves. And I think lots of people do have control over themselves, but you have to communicate when you see that things don't make you comfortable. Like, one of my things with my friends, people that they're dating or they're in relationships with, I am a little slow to forming what I call like a friendship with them. I am friendly with you, and it's because you are my friend's person. But to call you my friend sometimes is a little harder for me, because not that I'm wishing bad things on the relationship, but if something goes down, I want you to be super clear that that's my friend. Okay, this is my friend. Now, we're friendly. I like you. I love you. I've probably spent time with you. I respect you and all of that. But if this all goes down,
I'm rocking with my friend.
this is my friend. And I don't want you to think for 2 seconds that even if you're right, this is my friend. And I'm going to be like, you wrong. You want to be done with that, be done with it. But this is still my friend. And that loyalty gets blurry, and I try to avoid things that can make that loyalty get blurry.
Yeah.
Like, I'm slow to connecting with people, my people's people on social media. Like, one, because no shade to women, but women get really investigative sometimes and get weird. And it's like, they may not even be connected to their own person on social, but it's like, you go follow him and I need you to watch what he's doing on his page. And it's like, I'm not here to be an investigative lead with you. I don't want to do that. I want to keep, again, some lines drawn in the sand so that things don't get complicated. Things don't get weird. Now, once you're married, maybe you've been together for a really long time, or we've all spent a lot of time together, then perhaps, we can move into that. But one thing that would never change is that how I met you is through this person that was my friend. And that is where that will never change. That will never change.
Yeah, I've been in situations like that to where it's like, I get what you're saying. That's cool. Like, but like you said, this is my friend.
That's my friend.
I'm not going to take my friend's side. And I think that we have to, like you said, slow to becoming friends with people. Like, I always say that when Bree thinks I don't like double dates. She has a group of friends. So Bree has like a group of like maybe 9 to 11 like girls. It's like a group of them. All of them look good. Like, all of them, they're different races, ethnicities. But when people see the group, it's like, yo, I can see, why everybody got their own look, but everybody looks really good. And the thing is that sometimes I'll say this. When it started, Bree and I were the only ones that were actually in a relationship. And then everybody slowly throughout the 6 years of them being friends, people started to really get in relationships. People got married. So now there's like a married crew and like all the guys are cool. We have our own group chat, all that stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I say that to say is that sometimes Bree's like, oh, this person just met somebody, let's go out. And I'm like, I'm not getting involved with no temporary dudes. Like, I'm not becoming friends with somebody within like I need a repetitive like flow to know that this person's gonna be around for a little bit before I start being friends with or starting to get to know this person. Because at any point, like, you know what I'm saying,
he could be gone.
The relationship
and I
gotta
keep starting over with this.
And I think that that's healthy to do, to sometimes bring around your own friends. Like, if you have a man bringing around your own friends, it's like, if you are 3 months in or something, this is fresh. Some girls have friends who are a little grimy, and if they see that it's fresh and not that big of a deal, and then y'all end up breaking up, and then it's like 3 months, and then they got close. Like, this guy, is he really for you completely? It's only been a few months. Like, you know what I'm saying? And if you introduce him to certain people too early, it could, make things a little complicated.
Yes.
So I think that you should always be, before you start introducing people and breaking down those layers of introducing to your close people, like, make sure that the person is somebody who's going to be like around for a little while.
I totally agree. I think in this scenario, it's so unfortunate that she saw her man and her homegirl having an inappropriate conversation, and not just having an inappropriate conversation, going through measures to hide the inappropriate conversation.
You know what would be messed up?
What?
This is another red flag. When they are like talking about you, but like he's bringing up problems and he like, you know how she get.
Ooh, now you know how she get.
You know how she could be a little selfish, or you know how she could be a little.
She been like that as long as we've been friends, girl.
That's
the way I will beat you up. Wow, the way I will beat you up.
That is, I seen Rhonda get upset. Like she really got mad just now. Like just a quick second. Like
for sure,
like
you tripping.
What?
Like, you tripping? Even if it's true, like again, that's to me that's the equivalent of pillow talking with my person. That's pillow talking with my friend. Either situation, because one thing, I'm gonna beat everybody up. Okay, everybody catching hands, him and her. Okay, like I'm gonna fight her because she my homegirl and he just my man. Pop. Everybody catching it for sure. For sure.
It's such a messy situation. So that's something to be aware of too, because I feel like that happens a lot. Like if you're dealing with issues with your person or things that are frustrating you, maybe you start talking through it to one of her friends. Maybe it's genuine and you're trying to figure out the best approach. But then when y'all start to talk about these things, then y'all start to find commonalities, and this person is agreeing with you like, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about, blah, 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 and this and that. And then y'all start to go back and y'all form a relationship around your frustration with your person's issues. And then that can just become a toxic situation. But I also want to say something too that's a very real thing, because I remember a young lady did this really to me when I was in high school. And I ended up talking to this girl without even trying. Okay. So essentially, and me and the girl, we're really great friends now. We were already great friends, always great friends. But essentially, pushing somebody into somebody else's arms is a real thing. Like if you
break that down,
if you continually accuse somebody of doing something that they're not doing, or messing with somebody that they're not messing with, it may have not even initially been a thought in their mind. But if you have like some type of insecurity where you keep asking about this person, like, why are you doing this with this person? Why are you doing that with this person? And keep doing it, and it's not really a thing, you can start to make this a thing in somebody's head, even if they never thought about it. Now, there's a lot more layers that come to that. It's not even saying that the person would cheat on you, but what you might see is that they get tired of all this that you're putting on them, and they break up with you, and then they might end up start dating that person or talking to that person or having some type of interaction with that person when they never would have even thought about it or did it before, but you just keep accusing them of doing it. And that happened to me in high school. I remember a girl was like, there was this one girl kept accusing me of like talking to her, and I was doing this with this, doing that with that girl, and I'm like, I don't even have the girl's number. I don't even think I've ever really talked to the girl ever. Like we chatted on Facebook. Like it was a public thing on Facebook that people could see. It's like, it started as one of those things to where like this was in high school, and one of those things to where you used to put like, what was the first thing you thought about me when you saw me or something like that. And the girl just put what she thought about me. I think she maybe said like, oh, I thought he was cute, or you were cute, or blah, blah, blah. Didn't go from there. But the girl was just hounding me every time, like, oh, you talking to this girl, blah, blah, blah. And after a while, me and the girl ended up dating after I broke up with the other girl. But it wasn't even my intention. It's just like, you kept putting this on me and putting this on me and putting this on me. And I was just like, made me take more interest in this girl first in general, to be like, who is this person really? And like, why would she think that? And then she started coming at the girl. So then me and the girl, like, she's asking me like, yo, what's up with the girl? And it's like, and that's our first interaction, is figuring out why you tripping. And it's like, why is she tripping like this? I don't know. We don't need, hey, I'm so-and-so. I'm so-and-so. Nice to meet you. Yeah, I don't understand why she's acting like this. And then it's a thing. And then you kind of put somebody into somebody else's arms to where they might not even been thinking about that, but because you keep hounding on it and keep pressing it. And I'm not saying that's an excuse for doing it, but I'm just saying that that's a real thing that happens sometimes.
Yeah, it reminds me of the Keisha Cole song, I Should Have Cheated. Essentially, the undertone of the song is like, you accused me of doing this, that, and the third. I wasn't even doing anything. So for all the hell that you put me through, I should have just did it. At least then I would have deserved what I was.
Got something from it.
Yeah,
like I'm getting all the heat for it as if I'm doing it. At least if I would have did it, I would at least got that.
At least I could have been like, well, they right, so I might as well take the beating because I am cheating with your friend. I'm sleeping with your friend. It's true. I would be like, my stomach would be in my ass if I went into my man's thing and saw him messaging my friend inappropriately. Like, because I now know, like, setting aside beating them up, right? Like, I might be slightly joking about that because I value my freedom and I do not want to go to jail. I'm very, very scared of jail.
Yes.
But setting that aside, I would know immediately that I'm about to lose two people that I love or that I like, because both of them have to go. There is no coming back from that. Like, you would have had a better chance at coming back from talking to the girl that you used to date, because that was also an issue here. She went looking for you talking to the girl that you used to date. You have a better chance of getting me back doing that than talking to my friend. I will never trust you. Like, even I will forgive you all the things, but you will have to go, because now I'm going to feel like that's a thing. You've always liked her. You know, it just was a matter of time. You all being cool and buddy was potentially like a guise for what you were really actually doing. And if I plan on keeping you in my life, it would only be fair that I would forgive her too if she's also apologetic. So now how is this supposed to go? Now I can't have her around you anymore. I can't have you around her anymore. I'm not about to make all of those accommodations for something that you all chose to do that you knew was going to potentially have catastrophic results by just not thinking of me and thinking it was cool or cute to flirt with each other behind my back. Like, so there is no coming back from that. Like, I will never trust you, not only with her, but with any of my friends, none of my friends, because my friends can be as beautiful as ever. Hell, they could be more beautiful than me, better face, better body, better all the things. But when you are my man, my friends should, for the most part, like you said, be sisters to you. People that you wouldn't sleep with, people that you wouldn't flirt with. It should, like, literally, when my friends date somebody, my friends have dated some of the nicest looking men. Some of my friends who are lesbians have dated some of the most beautiful women with amazing bodies. And I don't see them that way. Like, I can acknowledge that they're attractive, but it's not like nothing goes off inside of me like, no, it just doesn't.
So, question for you: have you ever been in a situation where one of your friends' person was being a little flirtatious to you? You just kind of like,
where my friends, my friend's person was being flirty to me.
Yeah, and you're just kind of like,
Never.
Never?
I don't think so. I'm like trying to think. My friends, people being flirty to me.
Or like that would have you like,
no, yeah, like that would clearly be like, your man is creepy, like, well, he doing a lot right now. No, I've never experienced that.
Got you.
Yeah, no. Have you?
Good for them, man.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, like,
yeah.
I've had girls who I've had girls to where a friend of mine, a homeboy, whatever, came with the girl, and maybe I like met them out because I was out or something like that, and then the girl like end up coming on to me, but I didn't necessarily know the situation. I don't know if they were like dating, but I assume there was some interest or attraction there,
right?
Especially from my homeboy standpoint, and I think that that's a tough thing. Is like sometimes somebody is like entertaining somebody, but they still keeping options open. And then if like the whole friend group come and they like, okay, there's some,
I didn't get the cutest friend.
Different options here.
Yeah, no, these are not options. My friends are not options if I brought you here.
So like it was one time a girl, and I'm just talking, and I understand at times if you start getting me talking about relationships, I understand for some women, the conversation can start to mentally
Just say it. Mentally turn her on. Like,
Yeah, like
oh my gosh.
like
she's
the
so
way of
mature.
thinking could mentally be like,
Yes.
oh, wow.
Wow.
And like I remember being at the thing and like it was cool. We was hanging out and we was having a conversation. And then the girl was like, yo, let's just go to the bathroom and we can do whatever right now. And I was just like,
Damn, that escalated quickly.
I was like, oh, okay. No. No,
No.
I'm good. And then I was like, yeah, I need to leave. Like it's time for me to go. So I dap homeboy up. All right, peace. Be nice. Get a girl a hug. See you later. She sucks my ear as she's giving me a hug. I'm like, okay, yep, it's time to go. Yeah.
Lord Jesus. Oh,
And
wow.
then in that situation, I'm like, do I tell this brother what happened?
And it's your friend. This guy is your friend.
Yes.
Okay, what did you do? I'm like on the edge of my seat right now.
I had to end up saying something. Like,
Thank
of course.
God.
Yeah, I had to. Like, that's because I'm like, and I don't know the situation because, of course, you introduce, like, this is my friend, so-and-so, this is my friend, whatever. And it's like, I mean, they say they're friends, and I guess she made it clear they're friends, but it's like, I'm like, I met them when them two were together, and it was like at a bar, and they were drinking, and I was just like, okay,
weird.
interesting.
Yeah, very extremely. And also people use the word friend so casually. So when you're just meeting somebody and you're going out on dates with them and you're in a position to introduce them, that's usually what you say. This is my friend.
Yeah. So you don't know like what the situation is sometimes. And I feel like women a lot of time they will entertain a guy because they like their company, but they don't necessarily see like themselves like even actually doing anything physical with them. They just enjoy their company and they
that's
just
whack.
like spending time with them and stuff like that. But that situation I was just like, ew, okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
And there's been other situations to where I've been in certain things and it's like, okay, this girl's being a little
throwing yourself at me right now?
being a little friendly to me, but you came with
my friend.
And I remember we was at a thing in Miami one time and this girl had came with another dude. But then like you can always tell when somebody's trying to get your attention. So the girl just like stood in front of me the whole time and she's like dancing and just like chilling and vibing, but like she didn't move. Like she was like in front of me. So it's like, obviously I know women don't like to say stuff to guys sometimes, but it's like you want to be approached. So you're just standing in a place to where you can
be approached
by the person you want to be approached.
Yeah.
So we're sitting there talking. I mean, she ends up asking something because I was like by one of the drink tables. So she ends up asking me a question. And then Bree's standing next to me, but Bree was like talking to one of her friends. So Bree was a little separated and I was talking to one of my boys. So the girl's like right here in between a little bit. And throughout the time you could see me talking to Bree, all that stuff. I had my ring on, but nobody.
Yeah, like
some people don't care.
Who it is, they don't even care.
And some people don't look at it or do that. So the girl's like talking to me and she's like asking me these questions. I'm like, just having conversation, normal conversation. Oh yeah, what do you do? Like, how are you? Like, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
So then she starts talking to Bree, like next to me. So she starts talking to Bree and I guess they're having a conversation. And then she's just like talking to me more and she's like all this stuff. And then she like asked me, she was like, so I see you talking to a girl, like how you know her? And I was like, that's my wife. And she was like, oh, that's your wife. I'm like, yeah, that's my wife. And she was like, oh, okay. Oh, you guys are so cute, blah, blah, blah. And then
real thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And then she ended up walking away and it was just kind of like, okay.
Yeah.
And then later on, Bree was like, she had brought it up randomly. I didn't even say nothing to her. She was like, that girl really liked you. And she was like, I ain't even say nothing. She was like, when she was talking to me, I ain't say nothing. She was like, I wasn't going to ruin her
blue moment. That's why these situations, like once you go there, because I think when you're attracted to someone, in that way you just are.
Yeah.
You know, like it can go away, but it only really goes away once you explore it. If you're really attracted to somebody, the only way for that attraction to leave is if like you did it, you had it, you experienced it, and now you're just really no longer interested in it for whatever reason. But if you never got to experience it, and it, let's say in this scenario, it only went as far as those compliments and those exchanges and they had not slept together yet.
Yeah.
To me, it's only a matter of time because you are, in fact, you're attracted to my friend. And it's like, I'm going to go ahead on and get out y'all way. Like, you can take me out the equation. If you want to deal with her, deal with her. You don't have to worry. Neither of you have to worry about me again. And I just think it's so messed up. And it's just like not cute. And sometimes in the moment, like I getting caught up in things that are inappropriate in a moment, right? Like sometimes those things feel good. We all like attention to some degree and know that like we look good or someone desires us. But once you tap into it and you start to explore it, it becomes dangerous territory. And then if it gets found out, it's not funny anymore. It's not cute anymore. It's danger. I mean, it's not. It's sad. It's going to break somebody's heart. It's going to cause harm to all parties involved. And then you're going to look back and be like, damn, was it even worth that? Was it worth my relationship, and or was it worth my friendship just to be playing around with my homegirl's man? Like, so much about that is just so you like listening to you talk about, not the last one because she was kind of a stranger, kind of, but the first one, it's like, it's not cute that you would be so oblivious to me that you would just be like, the hell with our friendship and talk to my man. Like, what's wrong with you? Like, nothing's clicking in your mind that like
alcohol or not.
That's crazy. Like, I have never thought about, again, and I have, my friends have, we have similar likes in men, and never have I looked at any of their men and been like, damn, I wish I'd have met him first. Like, maybe they just not, I haven't seen one that moved the ticker that way. They would have to be dating Idris Elba or something for me to be like.
But that's something that has happened to me before. Just in general, I've had a lot of my friends who are women, their dudes have had issue with me, not because I have done anything, but just because I am me.
Attractive.
Yeah. So it's just a thought like, I know y'all have done something before. And I'm like, I know her way before you was even in the picture. If something was going to happen,
it could have happened.
It could have happened and it would have happened. Yeah. That's my friend.
Right.
Nothing to worry about. If you meet me, you'll understand that. Like, we cool. It's all good. Like, but it's just a threatening thing. And it's just.
And that's when that comfortability has to be created.
Yeah.
Even setting it outside of this dynamic, just co-ed or opposite sex friendships, there has to be comfort created by all parties involved. It's like, if you know that your homegirl's man might be a little insecure about this relationship, might think it's something weird. And again, not because you did anything, but just because he got eyes and he thinks you're nice looking, or he just is of the school of people of the opposite sex aren't really friends. You have to create comfort so that he knows, like, dog, I'm not here for that. We were just sitting here and I watched a clip of Busta Rhymes, and that's why I said I love Busta Rhymes. He was talking to Adele and like just telling her, singing her praises, but her Rich Paul was standing next to her, and like Busta is holding Adele's hand and like, you're this, you're that, you're that. And she's like, oh my God, thank you so much. I feel the same way about you. If she was single, it could have very well been given the thing like, what is this?
Yeah.
And then you see Rich, what appears to be, he gets a little fidgety, right? Like he like scratches his head, or like he almost moves his body to distract the moment. And Busta like incorporates him in the conversation simply by touching him. He put his hand on his shoulder and he's like, you know, like, she's great. You know, like, that is creating a comfort that I see you. I am not here to get your lady.
I'm not trying to dismiss you or anything like that.
Absolutely. Yeah. Same thing with Busta when he met Toby and Wigwe and his wife. She's with child right now. And Busta is known to be I don't want to say he is Muslim, but I think he respects the religion. And he was, again, singing Toby's praises and singing her praises, but he was like, I don't even want to touch you. It's not to offend her, but it is because like you are carrying his baby. And I don't even want to put in energy that would feel like, oh, it's kind of weird. It's like, I respect that when you go above and beyond to soften the environment so that people feel comfortable, so that it's like, nah, I respect Dre. You know what I'm saying? Like, he knows what to do and what not to do around my lady. He knows that if you're going to be over here, I don't need you to be sitting next to my woman, like with your arm around her or laying in her lap or doing weird stuff like that. Like, of course, I'm going to think it's weird if it looks weird. Because, I mean, if it's a duck, if it quack like a duck and it sound like it's a duck.
Yeah.
So just don't do that. This is why it gets dangerous. Because, like I said, I love that idea. But when people just aren't cognizant of how easily this can look crazy, you're going to create an environment and you may not have even been doing anything. But you know what? You weren't considerate enough.
Yeah, I think that there's easy ways to like compliment or praise your person's friends or your person's man without it being weird. And it's like I said, you treat that person like a sister or a brother, like how you would compliment that person. You wouldn't do it in a weird way.
Right.
You would do it in a way that is obvious that it's not anything that, you know, is weird. Like, I've made comments to some of Bree's friends to tell them that they look pretty in something, or like, yo, that dress is fire, or like, oh, I like that. I ain't gonna, you know, I like that purse or something like that, or like, yo, this is like, you look really good.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, you look nice. You look beautiful.
They have done the same thing, like, oh, you look sharp, or like said other things to where it's like, oh yeah, you know, this or that, and it's like, it's nothing that comes across as like weird or that have you like, But one thing I wanted to bring up, another type of situation where this happens, and I've seen it kind of happen before in real life. I don't know if it actually, let me think it did actually go through, but it's times to where you have a homeboy, right? And he's with an amazing woman, but he's not treating that girl right at all. And you know he's out here doing crazy.
Right.
But the girl is great, holding him down, sweet, and she has no idea. It's not like she's accepting it.
She just doesn't know.
She just doesn't know. And you looking like that's my boy. And we became close and stuff like that. All of us, me and his girl, and we all close. But it's like, I see how great this woman is. And I see how my man is just like treating her, kind of not respecting her at all. I've seen situations where that has like came into like a situation where the friend starts to fall for that girl.
Wow. That's a hell of a layer. I still think it's wrong.
It's wrong. Yes, it's wrong.
It's not your job to save her.
No, but I'm just saying is that
by becoming the man that your friend is not. Jesus Christ.
But I've seen that situation
before,
and it's like, I get why you would feel like it doesn't make you feel comfortable.
Yes.
It doesn't feel good. Because even as men, even if you are a dog or you know somebody who's a dog, you know a good woman when you see a good woman.
Yeah.
And it's like when somebody holding you down and you see how somebody's moving, it could just have you sometimes like,
so messed up. Why you treating her like that?
Yeah, why are you treating her like that? Like,
but you just gotta try to hold your friend accountable. Because I have that situation like currently with one of my friends. It's not a guy, it's a girl, but she dates women. And you know, she's single and she just doesn't have a desire to be in a relationship right now, and that's her choice. I have no issues with her choice. But you know, someone that she dates is just like a really, really good person who really does want commitment and is like an amazing woman. Yeah. And I don't date women, you know, but I joke with my friend, like, cause we just have that type of friendship where I be like, she looking good, man. Don't let me take her on a date, cause you know that if I take her, you know, I joke like that. But in our serious conversations about it, I say, hey, you need to tighten up. You need to either get in line with what she wants or let her go. You know, it's not okay to keep her in your life when you can't give her what she wants. And honestly, what she's earned, what she deserves. Yeah. That's selfish of you. It's not okay of you. That's how I save her. I try to get my friend to see that it's not okay for you to hold on to this person, not to go and say, well, let me take this person from you since you don't appreciate them. Again, your loyalty is to your friend, not your friend's partner who is kind of sort of your friend or is your friend, but just not first or not more prominently. So yeah, it's still messy, but I do get it. I do get it, especially if your friend really wants a woman like that. Not necessarily how she looks or anything, but just like all the things. Like, damn, I wish I could have a woman like this, and here you got it, and you're not appreciating it. I get it. Crazier things have happened. I might. I might have to make an exception for that one. Y'all didn't hear me say that, but I get that one. I do, but it's
because that's
wrong.
a real situation. Because I'm thinking of the different situations where that happens sometimes, to where there are situations like that. But overall, when it comes to situation, the question that she had, or he, it's anonymous.
It's she.
The question that she has: is it wrong for your girlfriends to know your man and even to be close? I don't think it's first to know your man. Like, no, it's not.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong.
I
with
would
them.
think so.
Yeah,
I would think she knows your man.
There's nothing wrong with them knowing each other, and I don't even think it's anything wrong with them close. I would just say, rule of thumb is that if there is some type of hangout or anything like that, it shouldn't be outside of you or done without your approval. Like, most of the time when I catch up with Bree's friends, it's because we're all doing, like, we all do activities together, like Super Bowl, everybody may be over, or like I throw fight parties, so people might be over, and it's like, that's where you catch up. It's like you're in the room with everybody, and then you just talk to, one homegirl, hey, what's going on? Like, I remember last time we talked, you was working here, like, what's new with you? What's going on? Or like, I help some of her friends with their like relationship problems and stuff like that, and getting the guy's perspective. The only time that I would probably hang out with Bree's friends outside of Bree is if I'm offering my expertise or some type of help in a way to where Bree is like, it don't make sense for me to be there. So like, I've changed somebody's tire before. Bree's like, I don't need to go come to talk about that. Yeah. One of Bree's friends is in PR, so we had a meeting and we just sat and talked about like different public relations stuff and stuff like that. Bree's like, I don't need to be present for that meeting. Even times where she's hung out with one of my homeboys, or it's been like helping them with their social media. I'm like, I don't need to sit there for that conversation or anything like that.
Because then you're just sitting like a watchdog.
Yeah, it's like it's pointless. So the times that we've met outside of our relationship or outside of the other person, number one, it's been talked about and communicated with the person, and the other person has always been invited, but they reject coming because like, I don't need to. Nah, y'all just go ahead. Like, I don't care. And that's been really the situation. So
yeah. I agree with everything you said. I literally echo your sentiments. I don't need to repeat that. I know that she didn't ask what she should do in the situation, but it does sound like she's entertaining him again, and because he apologized and he said he wasn't going to do it anymore, but then she said, I don't believe him, right? Like, I don't trust it. And with that being said, you should not be entertaining him. If you cannot apologize and move through it, then don't force yourself into that situation, because the dynamics are already interesting. And circling back on the fact that you click with her boyfriend, we haven't done the bad advice that works segment in a while. But if that is the angle that you're going back in this, that you're going to get revenge of some sort and maybe do something with her friend or her boyfriend to hurt her and your man, to me, it's just not worth it. Once you saw that your boyfriend is capable of doing this to you, and once you saw that your friend is capable of doing this to you, it's better to just cut your losses. Because again, it goes beyond just, damn, you cheating on me. But like, you're cheating on me with someone that is an absolute no-no. Like, it's so many people in this world that you could cheat. If you really need to cheat, you really feel like I got to get out of here and get something else. It's billions of people in this world that you could have chose. I only ask that you avoid my 5 or 6 friends, my 6 or 7 friends. The fact that you can't avoid my friends, dog. At that point, I think you'll do it to my mama, my grandma. Like, you don't have no real respect.
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, cheating is one thing, but if somebody cheat with somebody that is that close to you, their level of discipline
is
respect
so
is
low.
just so low.
Yeah, like
that you can't even trust that they
can't do it. If you'll cheat with my friend, you'll cheat with a stranger. Like at that point,
sure.
it's no coming back from it. So I would just say don't ignore what you're hearing. Don't ignore what you're feeling. I get it. You like this person. Maybe you had a life with them, whatever. But child, go hit on a cut him loose and her. You heard it here first. Cut the friend loose. I do want to have a slight little PSA. Just about real love scenario. Not like anything crazy.
Okay, gotcha.
No, it's nothing wild. I love how much people engage with us, and I so appreciate the feedback. Like seriously, we say that all the time, but we really, really do.
Yes.
I want to, as often as possible, and I do it a lot more on my social media than anything, just remind people that Dre and I are giving insight from our own experiences, but also from a place of being really committed to healthy relationships. We are not doing this for clicks. We're not doing all those things are nice benefits of what we do, right? But I think we're both at an age and at a point in our lives where authenticity is important.
For sure.
We are doing this because we really believe in love. We really believe in happy, healthy relationships and the mature management of them. We are not here to, get everyone to agree with us. We know that that's not always going to happen, but I find sometimes there's this major gap in the understanding of emotional intelligence. I am not in a arrogant way, but I am very proud to be an emotionally intelligent person, and I'm proud to sit across from an emotionally intelligent person. And so if you are not that, if you are immature, if you have really small-minded or catty ways of thinking, you probably don't understand our advice sometimes. You don't understand where it comes from because you're used to functioning dysfunctionally. And that is not our goal here. I too functioned dysfunctionally in relationships for years. But at a point I realized I wanted more for myself. I wanted more for my life. And I wanted to be a positive impact on other people who have experienced the same things that I've experienced. And so that is where our advice really comes from. It comes from a place of doing research that you all don't see, from what we read to what we listen to. We both are very immersed in the healthiest parts of this space and and sometimes we look at the not so healthy stuff too, because we need to get an understanding of who our audience is. But we are here and our mission is to try to help keep families together, grow families, grow relationships, and just grow people to be emotionally intelligent if what they want for themselves is healthy love. So I just wanted to say that as a PSA for what real love scenario is all about. It gets fun. It gets, dicey sometimes, but this is a positive space.
For sure.
And that is our angle always.
Very well said. I completely and 100% agree.
Thank you very much. That's it. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Appreciate it.
Happy, healthy relationships.
Tip the bartenders on your way out. Yes. So thank you, Anonymous. We hope we were able to help you. I'm very sorry that happened to you. Your friend is trash and so is your man. But if you want to write into Relationship Restored, you can go to our website, relationshiprestored.com, click the contact button and write into the show. You can also follow us on social. I'm at Ronnie Tate.
At Dre Smith.
And we will, and at Relationship Restored. Duh.
Yes.
Make sure you follow that because there's so many great things over there. But we'll catch you next week.
Oh, also we're on TikTok too. So
boom.
Yeah. Make sure you follow us on TikTok at Relationship Restored.
Just like that.
Boom.